Perfect Corp's Beauty Tech Talks, where we dive into the ever-changing beauty tech landscape and how to master a digital-first strategy. I am Lindsay Colomeo, the Principal Beauty Editor for Perfect Corp, and your host for today's episode on building the digital brow experience with Benefit Cosmetics. Arched, raised, or on fleek, there's no denying the face framing effects of a manicured, shapely brow. And it's hard to argue anyone knows this better than the brow experts at Benefit Cosmetics. But tidying, shaping, and defining your brows introduces a level of skill and finesse that puts brows in a category of their own. Unlike the ease that comes from swiping on a new lipstick or eyeshadow, brow products require a level of discovery, experimentation, and education in order to perfect those face-framing arches. In recognizing the opportunity to use advanced AI and AR virtual try-on technology to mimic brow try-on, Benefit Cosmetics reimagined the brow experience through a digital lens. Today, I'm joined by Emily Dubois, the Director of Digital Marketing at Benefit Cosmetics, to learn more about how the brand uses interactive virtual try-on to drive business. Welcome, Emily, and thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Lindsay.
Super excited to dive into Benefit's world of virtual try-on. So to kick things off, let's hear a little bit about your experience in the industry and your role at Benefit.
Sure. So, hi. Emily Dubois. I'm a director of digital marketing at Benefit Cosmetics. I've been with the brand for, it will be 7 years in June, so a long time. And been in the beauty industry 7 years. You can add on a couple 3 from a beauty tech startup that I was in back in 2010. And what I do at Benefit is I put together and kind of collaborate on what our global digital strategy is going to be, but I also specialize in the marketing programs for technical projects, such as launching our first augmented reality tool, which is Benefit Brow Try-On.
Super exciting. So kind of leading right into that, we love to get some insights into Benefit's overall innovation and technology strategy.
Yeah, well, so it's interesting. Overall, our strategy is that we just want to improve upon the customer experience, which I know that that's going to be a standard response for what someone is talking about when it comes to technology and innovation. But what we mean by that specifically at Benefit is we want to use technology to meet our customer where she's at. So specifically with Benefit Brow Try-On, we're working with this insight where we know that beauty customers know that brows are important, right? But it's still kind of maybe a newer category versus a category like mascara or lipstick, which was one of the leading categories in augmented reality technology. And the thing is about brows is that people know they're important, but they may not know what to do with them. So in that instance, we wanted to use technology to really help someone envision the possibilities of what a brow transformation can do for them. So it's not about like as simple as a one shade try on, which is super fun to do. It's a complex journey of like using augmented reality to help someone envision what better brows will look like on themselves.
Right.
And really to get to play, right? There's a lot of play that goes on with augmented reality. So we wanted to take it from a 2-prong approach.
I love that. So leading right into that, I'd love for you to kind of walk us through what that experience looks like for the Benefit user.
So, I mean, happy to kick it off. And actually, even so, from this video, as someone enters in, there's going to be something that we're going to do that you're not going to see in this video, which is the first one is the experience will detect your brow shade. So this is not going to happen in this video, but will happen when you go on to Benefit Brow Try-On today. So what our model is doing right now is playing with the different shapes to see how they can kind of change and iterate. If she has a fuller brow, she's now playing with different shades, so she can go slightly lighter. This is a slider tool that allows the user or the customer to see what the brows are going to look like before and after. It's really, really helpful. And actually, one of the ways that I recommend, or when I demo the tool in person, is to always have the slider on and then go through the different brow shapes to really be able to explore what that transformation looks like. So your left brow will always be the one that's kind of like your actual brow, and then your right brow will be the one that starts to shift and shape as you go through the experience.
I love that feature in the tool myself. And I think, like you said, it really is a big discovery moment for anybody that's playing with their brows. It really is that aha moment, and it does take a level of education that goes a little bit beyond what a mascara or a lipstick color or regular color cosmetic does. So it's really cool to see that come to life in this way. So what was Benefit's biggest concern or challenge when first looking at AR and AI? Obviously, we talked that it's a little bit more complex than just a classic color try on. So tell us a little bit about, what you guys faced when first leaning into this idea of, virtual try on.
Yeah, that's a great question. And actually, the thing that when we first ventured into developing this technology, there wasn't a tool on the market that was really using real brow hair. So what was happening was people were basically like removing the eyebrow and then putting a sticker overlay on top. What we wanted to do was make the experience as true to form as possible, right? So using the person who's interacting with the tool, using their actual brow hair. So that was the primary goal of what we wanted to do, is just make this as authentic and natural as possible so that someone could really envision what a transformation looks like in the most realistic capacity possible.
Totally. Did you find that the accuracy of that technology really started to ease your concerns originally about creating that experience?
I will say that, our number one goal always and forever with AR is going to be delivering on the truest experience possible to brow hair. So as augmented reality technology continues to evolve and improve, we're going to want to make sure that our brow hair detection, the accuracy and that technology is in lockstep with that. So things that we really care about are like, your brow hair grows in different shapes and ways, and that's hard for technology to always detect. So ensuring that our accuracy continues to improve over time. We care about making sure that when you come in, we're detecting your shade. So that is already available in the tool, but we want to continue to always iterate and refine on those things going forward. But I would definitely say that the experience today is the most realistic brow transformative experience that you can have on the market.
I love it. It really does rival the physical one, and it takes, 0.2 seconds to experience. And yeah. I know some pretty good brow people. I don't know if anyone can do it in 0.2 seconds. So that's pretty cool. So how has this virtual brow try-on tool reshaped the Benefit consumer experience?
Well, I would say it's still an ongoing journey, but I would say to start, we shared this tool with our trainers when we first developed it. So the people that train in-store staff, and they were just like floored by how the technology could help. In fact, many people wanted to find ways to integrate it into an in-store channel. So that is definitely one of our top priorities going forward, is ensuring that from a customer experience, right now you can try Benefit Brow Try On in a lot of online places, and we can talk about that in a sec or towards the end. But we want to meet our customer where she or he is at, and right. They are coming to beauty through mobile devices. So this idea of how we bring Benefit Brow Try-On into the customer journey, they could be looking at it while they're physically in store waiting for a brow wax or waiting for a service or buying a brow product.
Right.
We've talked extensively about what that looks like in an airport situation. And then I think where we really want to also continue to drive is like bringing this to where our customers are often shopping, which is with our retail partners as well. So we've worked really hard to make this technology available to a lot of our retail partners around the world.
Amazing. It's amazing to be able to hit all of those touch points for sure. So what have you noticed as like the biggest impact of integrating this piece into the business?
I mean, from an online standpoint, we have absolutely seen an increase in engagement with someone who spends time on our site. So the difference between before having Benefit Brow Try-On and the augmented reality experience, people were spending time on our site. But once we developed the interactive experience, we just saw an explosion of engagement, and people were spending up to 6 minutes when they were interacting with the experience of time on site. So that's been a huge win, and frankly, that was like our primary objective, right? We saw this first and foremost as an educational tool, really kind of addressing that gap between like the importance of knowing about a brow and then being able to visualize your own brow and that transformative process. I would say like what has been a huge bonus to this that we're continuing to use as like and refine and focus on has been we've definitely seen from a conversion standpoint double-digit growth when it comes to like average order value as well as add to carts. So both looking at data from our own site as well as some select retail partners. So it's been great. I mean, basically, you know, when it comes to the beauty industry, a lot of times, especially with newer categories, there can be fear. And augmented reality, to the degree that has been built with Benefit and Perfect Core, is really able to address some of that fear and therefore kind of take someone further on their journey.
Totally. I feel like the 6 minutes like stay time kind of is indicative of this, but how have the Benefit consumers and fans reacted and taken to this experience? What's been some of their overall feedback?
It's so So it's really funny. Actually, one of the newer features that we just launched late fall last year with Perfect Core, and I think we're probably one of the only brands that's doing this right now, is we've actually put in place a survey where users can give us feedback on how natural a brow looks. And that's actually going to be one of the ways that we as a brand go forward with developing the tool and the experience and figuring out what matters to the people who are using it. So right now we've gotten overwhelmingly positive feedback, which is really wonderful, but also like not as helpful when we want to kind of figure out how to continue to improve it.
Right.
But I think, you know, we really want to be the brand that people can go to for this experience and trust that they're going to see what a transformation can do with their brows. And so I think that that's kind of the key thing that we're really focusing on is like also closing the loop with how people can provide us feedback. So it's been very positive thus far. And so we actually might look to switch how we look at the survey to even bring in new questions.
Amazing. Well, I think the very loyal and very active, engaged, and dedicated Benefit community is totally, you know, a reflection of just how authentic and like how much you listen to their feedback and really build an experience that they're looking for. So I think, you know, that's one of the things I always admire about the brand and the, you know, the fan base that they've been able to build over the years. Obviously, as we're transitioning, you know, into and I guess hopefully soon out of a pretty unprecedented time in our world, I'd love to touch upon how you see the beauty experience evolving post coronavirus. As we, you know, both from a brand standpoint and a brow standpoint, but also for beauty overall.
Yeah. I mean, so the first thing is that the beauty industry has definitely seen an explosion of activity happening online, since it's obviously not realistically available for people to be shopping in store.
Right.
So having the opportunity for someone to still be able to have somewhat of a tactile experience through technology is key. But I would say that that existed well before the COVID was a thing for us around the world, that there is an expectation for the beauty customer to be able to both experience something technologically as well as experience it kind of in real life, right? I think a very savvy beauty customer is going to want to kind of do both things.
Right.
What I actually see happening, and one of the things that we've been doing at Benefit since we've been in shelter in place, is really bringing a lot of our beauty experts. We have a very, very well established global brow authority, Jared Bailey, who travels all over the world, as well as national brow artists that are in almost every country that Benefit does business. And these are really our brow spokespeople who connect across a wide variety of both customers as well as, top influencers. And they've obviously mostly migrated to social now. So as these experts are really kind of regularly communicating about the brow experience to someone on social through an Instagram live, through, taking questions and answers in Instagram posts, we've actually started to integrate linking to Benefit Brow Try-On as a way for someone who's engaging with our expertise to still take that journey further. So we're even seeing in times like right now where it's not even possible to go in store, the opportunity for someone to still travel along that experience to understand a brow transformation is super, super key.
I love that. So to that note, since I know we're not in stores right now, but where can all the Benebabes and beauty fans of the world experience this Benefit virtual try-on?
So the first place that people can really experience it is going to be across Benefit's owned websites. So it's immediately integrated at Benefit Cosmetics /brow. You'll be able to find it there, and it will certainly redirect wherever you are in the world. But we also have worked extensively with our incredible retail partners to find ways to bring this technology into their websites as well. So for example, in France, we are integrated into the Benefit brand page on Sephora France. We are working with Beautylish as well. We're integrated in Falabella in South America. So we're up to over 60 different places worldwide, both across our owned websites as well as across our partners. And one of the things that we'll definitely be pushing for, so people can keep an eye out for in 2020 and maybe 2021, is going to be bringing it into our airport locations as well as opportunities to bring it in store.
Amazing. And I just definitely want to add too that within the YouCam Makeup app, you guys also have your product listing there, which is a really cool place for people to be able to, live that experience just from the app itself, which is exciting. And then of course, shop the products as well.
Right.
So to wrap things up, I would love to know, as a leader in the industry, if you have any last insights to kind of leave with our listeners, especially during the, current landscape that we're living in right now.
I mean, I think all the people who are involved in both beauty and technology kind of saw the writing on the wall before this sort of shelter in place thing happened. But what I think is going to happen is the behavior of a beauty customer, obviously during what I'm going to call downtime, is going to rapidly shift. They're already very socially savvy. They're already masters at reviewing products, masters at discovery. So I think where technology, especially augmented reality, is really going to fit in, it's just one, it was already table stakes for the typical beauty customer, but I think that's going to take a much more prominent seat at the table, and we're going to see the timeline on that increase, right? As people think about augmented reality, I mean, obviously, a lot of people integrate it into an omni-channel experience, but I think you'll start to see that really speed up in terms of a timeline to address some of the things that are happening today, which is like people testing things, what the experience in store is going to look like.
Right.
So I think you'll probably start to see that speed up.
Totally. I feel like the idea of swiping into a community tester is probably long gone at this point.
I think it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, but I think people will probably be reserved about testers, and augmented reality is already there and able for them to experience trying on products.
That's so, so true, Emily. With that, I want to thank my amazing guest for sharing her insights into Benefit Cosmetics' virtual brow try-on experience. I encourage you all to head to benefitcosmetics.com to experience it for yourself and browse the best brow shapes and products to master the perfect arch for your face. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Perfect Corp's Beauty Tech Talks. Until next time, stay safe, stay hopeful, and stay connected.